This is KGL and welcome back to Surviving the Aftermath 1.2 Outposts. In this video we are going to go over colony optimization over the next 10 days. Alright, so here we go. Let's go ahead and push play. So the very first thing we're going to go ahead and look at is we're just going to take a quick look, make sure everybody's doing their assigned tasks. Looks like we have people on our scrapyard and our recycler currently. And our farms, they're still growing. Oh, alright, here we go. We got our first pandemic. At first it's just a cough, but then a fever picks up, people start dropping like flies, and the colony grinds to a halt. Now is the question of how quick you can react. Several staffed medical facilities can nullify almost completely, but if unchecked it spreads like wildfire. That will be the general overview of the pandemic, and then here we have pandemic comes in waves infesting colonists. Untreated colonists will eventually die. The disease dehydrates the body, increasing the colony water consumption, so we have to make sure we have enough wells. Build enough medical facilities to treat the infected, so this means we have to have enough medical tents, and antibiotics speed up the healing process. Now, we don't have any antibiotics yet, nor do we have a way to gain antibiotics, but we could do everything else. So we're going to go ahead and place this medical tent not too close to our existing. We'll place it down here. We want to have a nice even spread so colonists can either move from their tents directly to a medical tent, or they can go from their workplaces to the medical tent. We're going to put this on high priority. Right here you see we have priority mode, and we're going to put this on high. This means this out of everything has a priority of being done. We're going to go ahead and speed up to see if this gets done. I just noticed over here we have some colonists at the gate. So we're going to take a look at what they have to offer. So you notice we have 2 adults, which is good. This means we have right off the bat 2 workers. They have 0 children, which is beneficial to us, which means we don't have to have added resource consumption and no work output. Over here it tells us the specialists that we will get when we accept these or deny these survivors away. Right now you see we have a recovery of +3 in the colony, so we definitely want this for this next pandemic, and we have a whole bunch of other things that will help us later on. So we're going to go ahead and accept this group. Next, we need to build a proper shelter. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and build a emergency shelter. This is going to provide a lot more shelter for our growing colony. So as you see right here, our next pandemic is in 2 days. And we also need to establish 1 more well. We might actually need to establish a couple wells now that we just gained 2 more colonists. We're probably going to look at double the water consumption. So here's 10. Looking for at least 10. Alright, next thing we're going to take a look at is you notice we have these boxes just laying outside our fields, and sometimes outside our scrapper and other collection facilities, or just random boxes along the paths. One of the things we can do to fix that is just slightly adjusting our work area so that it doesn't hit resources, but it hits the boxes within your colony. So we still need to collect resources within our colony, but once these resources all are cleaned up, we'll start to gather all the resources by the paths. Looks like we have 1 well built. I'm not sure why this is not on built, since this is as high priority. We're going to take these colonists off this yard since they're not doing what we want them to do. Go ahead and move this work area so that we're hitting concrete again. We have someone that got sick. We're going to go ahead and add a medical. We have our second tent going. This is great. We have 1 day left to our pandemic. We have all our wells built. And we're going to go ahead and assign a colonist to our farms. We're going to try to harvest during the pandemic. We might lose a field. If we do, oh well, we still have enough food to make it through the next growth cycle. So we're going to go ahead and harvest now. And we're going to make sure we pick up that food as well. So once again, we're going to go over the food with a little circle. It's going to be red this time, but now we know we are gathering the food. My apologies, we should do this with... Go ahead and reassign here. We're going to remove that. We're going to remove that. We're going to remove her. And we're going to remove him. We're going to make sure our tents are fully staffed. We're going to see what they want. We're going to go ahead and let them try. We gain 10 tools. Awesome. We have broken bones, but no worry, we have fully staffed medical tents. Notice we have no issues in healing, all our colonists are doing just fine. We're going to go ahead and make sure we're continuously gathering up all the resources within our colony. Looks like we actually have some bricks down here we want to gather. Let's go ahead and pause it really quick. We'll take a quick look at our colonists. Make sure nobody's in dire. Okay, we'll go take a look at her. Resting rate is -50. This is probably why she is sick, and she's also radiated. Oh no, her happiness is low. Oh, she's fine. Alright, so all our colonists are fine. I'm not sure what she's doing. She should be in the medical tent. Trader Bandit has arrived at our gate. A man approaches the gate with a hefty backpack, bursting out what seems with blueprints, measuring sticks, and other items. He has all the usual bandit trappings, but is acting in a very unbandit fashion. We want to take, we're going to take 6 components, and we're going to give out 8 wood. This is a great deal for us. This will help us later game. And this pandemic should almost be over. We'll go ahead and reassign our workers. Finish these farms off. Now that we're towards the end of our pandemic, we don't need to worry about getting sick. And then we can go ahead and remove our medical staff. Now we'll go ahead and reassign our scrappers. And there we go. We survived our first catastrophic event. Simple as that. Alrighty, now that we have our water production super high, let's go ahead and build a water tower. This will provide storage. Each tower provides 700 water. And then since we're building that, we can go ahead and demolish this backpack, which is holding water for us, but we don't need it anymore. And we need to start building a warehouse. Keep the warehouse at the front of our gate for right now. And now we have another group of colonists. Let's go ahead and accept these. These are 2 more adults. This is great. It doesn't look like we're getting a specialist this time. We need to go ahead and look at our recycler, make sure they're still gathering resources, which they are. We're going to go ahead and assign another recycler, and then we'll go ahead and assign another scrapper. At this point, we have a fully operational colony. The only thing we have left is to provide medical staff, but other than that, we're doing pretty solid. We're going to get this warehouse built, and we'll go ahead and remove these off the farm once again so that they can be assigned to other tasks, or be carriers, which is both beneficial. Now let's make sure we have our work area covering the entire colony, and we can start going ahead and gathering up these resource boxes and putting stuff away inside the warehouses and stockpiles. Go ahead and move this work area out here. Oops, someone was injured. Let's go ahead and assign medical staff once again. We can go ahead and assign medical staff permanently. We'll just swap between farms and medical as needed. Let's go ahead and look at the outer world. Here's our specialist. Now with our specialist, we can go ahead and look at different areas. We're going to go ahead and scout around, and our main goal for right now is to look for science. We want to find science so we can start researching as fast as possible. And what do you know? We found science right away. So we'll go back home, and we're going to look at the map icon really quick. You notice we have this ring that goes around the world. Once this ring is complete, that means our specialist is ready to have another action. An action includes either exploring, walking, or picking up outer world resources. Science, once you pick up, you immediately have. Anything else, you have to return back to your colony. Alright, we'll go ahead and assign our workers. Oh, nope, doesn't look like it's ready yet. Alright, we're going to go ahead and build our next object. We're going to go ahead and build a burial pit. Now, you would normally need to build this a little bit earlier game, but hopefully this guide will help you so you don't lose any colonists early game. When you do lose a colonist, however, it is important that you have burial pits as soon as possible. I took a big risk in figuring that we wouldn't need a burial pit for the next 10 days, so that's what I decided to do. But now that we're well established and are surviving rather well, we're going to go ahead and establish this burial pit. We don't need to have anybody assigned to it at all, so it's just going to be there in case. Here comes another survival group. We're going to go ahead and welcome these colonists. And they brought a bunch of stuff with them. Go ahead and establish more staff in our medical tents. We'll go ahead and deassign our burial pit and reassign our outer world specialist is ready. We'll go ahead and scavenge the science. We'll go ahead and look at our tech tree. We're going to go ahead and go with communal eating first. We're going to try to get advanced farming as quickly as possible. We're not going to build anything from communal eating, it's just a path. We have a storage that's full. We're going to go ahead and move this. Go ahead and build a path down to these resources over here. Alright, looks like our colony is doing well. We have stockpiles starting to gather up too many resources. We'll just go ahead and establish a few more. We can never have enough stockpiles until, of course, we gather all our resources. Go ahead and see what they want. We'll go ahead and build a makeshift ladder. There's no reason not to. It's like free happiness. Alright, we'll go back out to our world. We're going to go ahead and gather our science. We're going to immediately go back. Because you notice we just ticked again. So we'll go ahead and gather resources once again. Now we have 200 science. We'll go back to our tech tree. From here, we'll go ahead and harvest all our food. And once we are finished harvesting all our food, we're going to go ahead and lay down bigger farms. So we will not replant after these farms are finished harvest. Now during this transition, we're going to make sure we have enough food. We're going to go ahead and put our food storage down onto some berries. This transition might take a while. And it looks like we need to establish another emergency shelter. We'll go ahead and keep this one nearby the farms. This way workers can go straight to the farms. We're also going to build a food storage over here. This will make it so that our new emergency shelters that will go in this area, colonists will not have to walk very far to get food. Okay, this is done. This is done. This is done. And that's done. Alright, we'll go ahead and remove these 4 farms. We're going to go ahead and slow down time. And we're going to go ahead and establish our new large farms. We'll go ahead and have a pathway going to all our farms. Might as well have that path go to the water well. Go ahead and speed up time. So we're going to go ahead and grow 2 large fields of corn and 1 medium field of potatoes. Go ahead and speed up time. We'll go ahead and assign our colonists. Click on corn. And same with potatoes. We'll go ahead and remove a worker from each of our tents. And once these farms are planted, we'll go ahead and reassign our colonists to recycling and scrapper yards. You notice now we have an underground resource here. We'll come back to this later game. Alright, so here's our next catastrophic event, heat waves. Intense and oppressive heat takes over the area and moisture evaporates. Colonists struggle to keep hydrated and cool while working. Plants wither and crackle in the soil. Colonists drink double the normal amount. Crop yield on open fields suffer. Build and fill water towers to stockpile on food and survive. Alright, so I'm not too worried about the food part, but I am worried about the water. We do need to make sure we have enough water to get through this. For food, we'll go ahead and collect berries if we need to. We'll go ahead and build 1 more tower, and we're going to take these colonists that look like. Oh no, this is something else. Oh dear. A massive mutated deer is stalking around the gate. More than 2 meters tall. 4 meters in length. It's very, very aggressive. It would be safest to just shoot it with a bow, but trapping it first would ensure that all of its meat would be left unspoiled. So we're going to go ahead and trap it. If we get injured during this, we have medical tents to get healed. We gained 21 meat. Alright, we're going to go back to the outer world. We're going to go back to our science. We're going to collect our last bit of science. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to need to research on our tech tree is going to be under security. We want to make sure that all our resources are protected during catastrophic events, so we need to research general storage. This will make sure that any resources that are remaining on our paths will be cleaned up and put into their proper storage locations. This well is almost built. We're going to go ahead and move this location and look for another location on the map that contains this resource. Here we go, we got some metal scrap over here. Potatoes will yield a lot better during heat waves than corn, so keep that in mind. Okay, we'll go back to the outer world. We'll take our specialist, continue to explore around. We found some wood, nothing yet. And that'll be it for this episode. That was the next 10 days in stabilizing our colony and setting up for our next catastrophic event, which is a heat wave. Alright everybody, stay tuned for the next episode while we survive through the heat wave. If you have any questions, once again, please leave a comment below, hit that like, ring that bell, and subscribe.